Very good morning to class 7th. Here is Kaushalya Rajpurohit, your social science teacher, and today we are going to discuss chapter 7 Towns, Traders, and Craftsmen. The medieval period was an era of stability. The Cholas, the Delhi Sultans, and the Mughal provided a stable government, which brought in peace and prosperity. Large villages often grew into town. Some towns were founded by Delhi sultans and the rulers of the provisional kingdom for the trade and commerce. Sources of towns. Now, account of foreign travelers such as Jared Barbosa and Ralph Fitch help us to know about the town that flourished in this period. Mughal officials document on the land grants and land revenue assessment also tell us about the old and new towns. Different types of towns. There were many types of towns classified on the basis of different function each one performed. There were capital towns, temple towns, pilgrimage towns, crafts town, commercial and trading towns, and so on. Now, capital towns, the place where king held their court, often developed into a town, right? And these were also the center of administration. For example, Agra, then Fatehpur Sikri, and later Lahore was the seat of Emperor Akbar. Again, Shah Jahan made Delhi as his capital, right? He also named it as Shahjahanabad. His daughter Jahanara Begum built a shopping complex there called Chandni Chowk, which is still there, present in Delhi. Temple towns. Now, what are temple towns? There were numerous temple towns in different parts of country. A classic example is Tanjore. Tanjore was the capital of Cholas but was more famous for its temples. Tanjore developed into flourishing town largely because of the temples. To cater to the need of the temple and pilgrims, people of different professions settled in such towns. There were priests, garland makers, weavers, sculptors, shopkeepers, traders, musicians, dancers, and so on. Some of the famous temple towns are Tirupati, Somnath, Kanchipuram, Madurai, and Mathura. Now, the next type of towns are pilgrimage towns. Pilgrimage centers slowly turn into towns. For example, Banaras, which is known as Varanasi, Allahabad, Mathura, Vrindavan. Dargahs of famous Sufi saints such as Khwaja Muin Uddin Chishti at Ajmer and Khwaja Hasrat Nizamuddin Aliya at Delhi attracted a large number of devotees. Many of them settled there. So, this is how pilgrimage towns were formed. Now, the next one is craft town. Now, what are crafts town? The specialized craft were concentrated at different places. Kings and nobles required luxury goods. This led to the growth of the craft towns. For example, Bidar was famous for its beautiful Bidri work. Hyderabad, the capital of kingdom of the Golconda, was also gem cutting and trading center for the jewels. Now, commercial and trading towns. Commercial town developed as a result of the product found in that region because of its nearness to the port or major train routines, right? And there were some important towns which were under the commercial and trading towns. Now, first one is Hampi. Hampi is situated on the bank of river Tungabhadra in Karnataka. It was the capital of mighty Vijayanagar Empire. It was also chosen as the capital for because of its strategic location. Hampi was important center of cotton and spice trade. Hampi was well fortified city. It also had many beautiful temples. The ruler used the money from trade to build the temples. Now the next important city is Masulipatnam. Masulipatnam is situated on the bank of river Krishna. It was founded in 14th century, essentially a port town. It was also known as Machilipatnam because the gateway of the town was decorated with the eyes of the fish. Machilipatnam was and even today is famous for the kalamkari work. Now kalamkari is a work that referred to painting used by natural or vegetable dyes on a cotton or silk fabric with the bamboo pen. When Bombay, Calcutta, and Madras become trading ports of Europeans, Masulipatinam lost its importance. The next important city is Surat. Surat in Gujarat is situated on the bank of river Tapti. It was an important port and trading town during the medieval period. During the reign of Mughals, Surat became a very important commercial city, famous for all types of textiles, particularly cotton textiles. Fine cotton textiles with zari borders were also produced during that time. And even today, Surat is a major center of diamond trade. Okay, now traders and craftsmen. There were both small and big traders in town. The small traders operated in the limited area, the big ones owned large fleets of ships and traded in goods. Spices and textiles were the mostly traded items. These were sold to the traders in the ports of Red Sea, Persian Gulf, Southeast Asia, and China. Indian spices such as pepper, cinnamon, and nutmeg reached Europe. The trader evolved in this reaped huge profits. Traders generally travel in the carvas. They also form guilds to protect their interests. The Banjaras were a trading group that traveled from one place to another, buying goods from one place and selling them to other. Craftsmen made goods of different kinds, while the Sultan and nobles wanted luxury goods. Cotton, silk textile, and were produced on large scale for the local and for export. Mughal emperor also established workshop in which craftsmen practicing different crafts worked. They produced good for the emperor and the royal household. The craftsmen in the town and the villages made variety of goods for such commercial exchange. Okay, so class, in this chapter we learn about the trade and commerce which led to the growth of towns and cities. We knew about the different types of we understood about the different types of towns according to their uses and the important towns which were the center of trade and commercial use, right? So this is all for today. I hope you have understood the topic. Thank you.